Imagine walking into a tiny house that feels spacious and inviting. Sounds impossible? Not after you learn these staging secrets. I remember struggling to sell small spaces when I started in real estate. Then I discovered tricks that changed everything. Stay to the end because I'm going to share the ultimate staging tips that not only make small spaces look bigger, but also helps them sell faster and for more money. Let's dive in. Did you know that the average American home has shrunk by 6% in the last 5 years? That's right. We're all dealing with less space. But here's the thing. Smaller doesn't have to mean less valuable. In fact, I'm going to show you how to make your small space so appealing that buyers will be fighting over it. Once you see these tricks in action, you'll never look at a small space the same way ever again. All right, let's talk about the secret home selling weapon in small space staging that most people overlook. The capsule. I want you to think about the last time you walked into a tiny one-bedroom condo. Did it feel cramped and cluttered? Now imagine that same space, but it feels twice as big. That's the power of the capsule. The capsule is your walls, floors, and ceiling. It's the backdrop to everything in your home, and it has a massive impact on how spacious a room feels. Most people ignore this game-changing aspect of staging, focusing only on furniture and decor. Let me tell you about a client whose studio couldn't sell for months. Frustrated and out of options, the seller contacted me after their listing expired. When I walked in, I literally felt like I was in a shoebox. And that's exactly why potential buyers were walking away with zero interest in making an offer. We decided to tackle the capsule first. We painted the walls, ceiling, and trim all the same light color. It was a soft, airy white that made the whole place feel like a cloud. By creating this seamless look, we tricked the eye into seeing more space. There were no visual breaks, just a light, bright expanse that seemed to just go on and on. We also made sure the flooring was consistent throughout the space. This continuity was crucial in making the studio feel larger and more cohesive. The transformation was incredible. Without a price reduction, that little studio that had been sitting on the market for months sold in 1 week, $10,000 over the asking price. Now I know what you're thinking. Lily, won't this make my place look boring? Trust me, a monochromatic scheme doesn't mean bland. It creates a beautiful, neutral canvas that potential buyers can easily imagine themselves living in. And once we've set the perfect backdrop, it's time to tackle the next crucial step, furniture placement. Now let me tell you, arranging furniture in a small space is no easy task. It's like solving a puzzle. You want to create a home that feels warm and inviting while still being functional. This takes a lot of thought, and honestly, sometimes it takes a professional eye to get it just right. All right, let's talk about furniture placement in small spaces. Just because a piece of furniture fits doesn't mean it works. I had a client who purchased a gorgeous sectional that fit perfectly in their small living room. It looked great, but there was one major problem. There was no room left to create a dining area or even fit a small table. Buyers walked in and couldn't see how they'd use the space for both relaxing and dining, which is crucial in a small home. Even if the home doesn't have a dedicated eating area, it's important to create one. In small spaces, the living and dining areas often need to share the same space, and that's where furniture selection becomes so important. The right pieces not only make the space look stylish, but also show buyers that it's functional and versatile. We completely rethought the layout for my client. Out went the sectional and in came a love seat and 2 sleek armchairs with legs to create visual space underneath. When you can see the floor beneath the furniture, it creates this amazing sense of openness. The difference was night and day. Buyers immediately saw how the space could work for their everyday needs, and the home became much more appealing. In small spaces, every piece of furniture needs to earn its keep. That's why multifunctional pieces are absolute game changers. An ottoman with hidden storage or a dining table that doubles as a desk can make a huge difference. Creating defined zones within the space is crucial. We use a small area rug to anchor the seating area, instantly making the room feel more organized and purposeful. This zoning trick helps potential buyers visualize how they'd use the space, which is key for making that emotional connection to the home. Here's another pro tip. Consider incorporating glass or transparent furniture. A glass coffee table serves its purpose without visually breaking up the space, maintaining that open, airy feel we're after. But let's talk about the real home selling secret weapon in furniture placement. Scale. You want pieces that complement the size of the room, not overwhelm it. Properly scaled furniture can actually make a room appear larger by creating the illusion of more space. It's all about creating a layout that allows potential buyers to envision themselves living there comfortably. When done right, a well-staged small space can actually appear larger and more inviting than a poorly staged larger space and also sell for more money. I promise you, these simple changes can transform a small space from cramped to captivating to more money in your pocket. All right, let's shine a light on one of the most powerful tools in our small space staging arsenal. Lighting. Imagine walking into a room that feels like it's giving you a warm hug of sunshine. Sounds nice, right? But what if I told you this room was actually a dark cave like a basement just a few days ago? Let me share a little lighting magic that can turn even the gloomiest spaces into bright, inviting havens. I recently had a client with a basement apartment that was giving us a real headache. It was so dark and dreary that potential buyers would take one look and run for the hills. We needed to bring in the light, but how do we do that with tiny windows and low ceilings? Well, it's all about getting creative. First, we stripped away those heavy light blocking curtains. You'd be amazed at how much of a difference this little change can make. Suddenly, we had natural light flooding in, even if it was just a little. But we didn't stop there. We brought in an army of light sources. Table lamps, floor lamps, and even some sneaky LED strips tucked away in corners. The key here is layering your lighting. It's not just about making things bright. It's about creating depth and atmosphere. Now here's where things got really interesting. We placed mirrors opposite those tiny windows, and let me tell you, it was like we installed skylights. Suddenly, that little bit of natural light was bouncing all over the room, making it feel twice as big and 10 times as bright. Remember, lighting isn't just about being able to see. It's about creating an atmosphere that feels open and inviting. In small spaces, this is absolutely crucial. A well-lit room feels larger, more welcoming, and just plain happier. And happy spaces sell faster. That's a fact, my friends. So what happened with our basement apartment? It went from dungeon to delightful practically overnight. Buyers who previously wouldn't even look at it were now putting in offers. The power of good lighting, my friends, it's real. When we're staging a small space, every detail counts. But lighting, it's a secret sauce that brings everything together, making your space feel infinitely more livable. Now I want to dive deeper into the magic of mirrors and glass in small space staging. I want you to think about how these reflective surfaces can completely transform a room. This technique is about creating an illusion of depth and light that can fool the eye in the best way possible. Let me tell you about this small townhouse I worked on recently. The owner had good intentions, but went overboard with mirrors everywhere. It felt chaotic and confusing. So we got strategic. We kept one large mirror and placed it opposite the window. Why? Because that's where it can do the most good. It's like having an extra window, bouncing light around and making the space feel airier. But here's the thing. Mirrors aren't the only reflective surfaces we can use. We swapped out the solid coffee table for a glass one, which allowed light to pass through and created an illusion of more floor space. We also added some metallic picture frames and a sleek chrome lamp. These small touches all contributed to the sense of openness. Now you might be wondering why this works so well. Our brains perceive the reflective space as an extension of the real room. This tricks our eyes into thinking the area is larger than it actually is. Plus, extra light bouncing around makes everything feel brighter and more open. I've seen some really creative mirror placements that can work wonders. Try hanging a mirror behind a light source to amplify the glow, or place a tall mirror in a narrow hallway to visually widen the space. In a bedroom, a mirrored closet door can make the room feel twice as big. Remember, when it comes to mirrors and glass, less is often more. One well-placed mirror can do more for your space than a dozen scattered around haphazardly. The key is to use these reflective surfaces strategically to create the illusion of more space without overwhelming the senses. So what have we learned? Mirrors opposite windows maximize light. Glass furniture creates visual space, and strategic placement is crucial. With these tips, you can make even the smallest room feel spacious and inviting. Trust me, home buyers will notice the difference. Before I wrap this up, if you enjoyed this video, please give me a thumbs up and subscribe to my channel. I am on a mission to reach 1,000 subscribers, and your support means the world to me. Okay, so now let me wrap this up. Remember these things. Staging a small space is about showcasing its true potential. Focus on the capsule, furniture placement, lighting, and strategic mirrors. This is your secret weapon for transforming any cozy home into a buyer's dream. I know it can feel overwhelming, but these changes make a world of difference. That's why I'm offering a free consultation if you are located in Maryland, and a downloadable staging checklist that you can find in my description box below, because I want you to feel confident in your ability to stage like a pro. Ready to see your small space become the hottest property on the market? Let me know in the comments. What's the first thing you're planning to make today? I promise you, once you put these tips into action, you'll be blown away by the results. Thanks again for watching. I'll see you guys in my next video. Bye-bye.